Okay, how's that? Welcome to Advocates for Justice Paralegal School. We provide the tools, you do the work, just in case you didn't hear that the first time out. So James says you can prolong it, but you can't stop it. So I'm assuming that you're talking about the foreclosure process. I don't know what you're talking about, James, but and I'm not sure what that means. So you can prolong it. The goal is to stay in your house. So if you're prolonging it, you're staying in your house. And as far as you stopping it, it doesn't work if you don't use the documents and stuff the way that I have it outlined that you're supposed to use them. So if you miss steps along the way, then you're going to find yourself in trouble. And then when that happens, then they're going to move you up to the front of the list to make an example out of you. So you can prolong it, but you can't stop it. I guess that everybody's entitled to their opinion. If you prolong it, you're stopping it because you're still in your house. So I'm not sure why you are bringing that to the table. If you're ready to give up, you need to go sit your ass down and just pack your shit. Maybe that's what you should do. I don't know. But the rest of us are fighters, and we're going to fight. So we're not going to. Oh, you still can't? You guys still can't hear me? So can you guys hear me? I made a few adjustments here a minute ago. So everybody can have their own opinion, but the people that are ready to give up don't. There's no place for them here because we're not ready to give up. Okay, thank you. So yeah, so here is the place where the fighters are ready to fight, need to come, because we don't have anybody ready to give up and prolong it. So James, what is your suggesting? Because I get this a lot on Facebook. People come in, they leave poop pictures on my ad and talk a bunch of crap, but they don't offer any suggestion. So what suggestions are you offering, James, that could change this and make it so it's not being prolonged? If uh, I don't know. If it's prolonged, you're still in your house. So I don't know. Just tell me what you think that you need to, what you think we need to be doing, James. And Donna Reed's still in her house too. She blocked I think she blocked the auction sale process. And that was a while back. Now, the fight ain't over, and that's for sure. I don't. Oh, you don't have a plan. Huh. Okay. Well, you don't have a plan, and I think but you know what? You come here and say anything you want to. I mean, as long as you're not being too stupid. So everybody's entitled to have their own opinion, and I'm going to respect his opinion. But the people who follow the instructional videos and get stuff done the right way are having pretty good luck. And at the end of the day, from where I'm sitting, uh, this is better than what you got to work with. All right, Stinger. That's what I'm talking about. And people come in, oh, I want to win the foreclosure. Dude, you're not going to win anything. You're not going to win because that means the judge is going to have to give you stuff. Okay, that's what it means to win. And the judge is in their favor. So you just have to take it one step at a time. Use their own system against them. Like when you actually. So here's the thing: when you actually attack the people who actually signed to start the action against you, oh, it's a whole different ballgame. It's a whole different ballgame. James, did you have the lender as the number one defendant in your lawsuit? That's the biggest mistake most people make. They have the lender on there, some fake corporation that didn't sign anything, and the only signature on that paperwork, is the signature from the attorney that's actually working as a third party debt collector. And no, you're not going to win. So you need to beat them down and sue their butts. And when you add the judge to your lawsuit and the state, it creates a bit of a problem. I like to go back to Stinger. He blocked the eviction, and we have a couple of more people that blocked the eviction process. And well, actually, we have more than we know. Not everybody wants to be vocal about it. So, what do you think, James? We should go sit down and pack our own shit, throw in the yard? You sound like you kind of grumpy tonight. You might want to come back another time, or maybe you've been doing something that make you grumpy. I don't know. But we're here to fight. So, well, no, you're not with me when you're making all these excuses about it being rigged, man. All right. So I'm just going to tell you that right now. You're not with me because you don't hear me making no excuses about shit over here. And quite frankly, I don't even want to hear them. Okay. Because I don't have time. So we got shit to get done because we're fighting and getting stuff done. We don't have time for those excuses and whining and shit because basically that's what you're stinking doing. So you're doing the conventional thing, Stinger, huh? Because in my program, we never get around to asking for any discovery. I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, you're kicking ass and doing something, and that's better than what James is over here talking about. But if you're in state court foreclosure process or eviction process, what we have been doing is stopping the state court process before we file a lawsuit in federal court or filing a lawsuit in federal court. Having that lawsuit filed in federal court is what gives you a little bit of control. But the problem that we found is that the federal court's kind of far away. So they'll be on the phone talking to each other, trying to get extra time. The state court will tell the federal court, "Oh, we got them. We're going to have them in the eviction process in a week. So give us a couple of weeks or whatever." So Stinger says he is in state court. Stinger, are you using my products, or you're doing your own thing? That's important to know. But at the end of the day, we add the state court, the state, and the attorneys and the judge to our lawsuit as a counterclaim and file it in their state court case to blow the case up. And then you file your real 42 USC 1983 civil rights lawsuit over in federal court. And then you have a removal document in the packet that you can use to remove all of that state court crap over to federal court. Because see, you're never going to have any luck going into court and arguing what they want to talk about. Okay, so that don't work out for very many people. So when you use the 42 USC 1983 civil rights lawsuit package, you're going into court and you're arguing that the court's process and procedures violated your due process rights, obstructs the administration of justice, and they're also in violation of Administrative Procedures Act of 1946. And a couple other things are in there that you're going after them for. So now you're going after them for the illegal court process and procedures that violate you. You can argue all of the case law and all of this other crap all day long, But until you get the court straightened up to where you're not getting violated, you don't have a chance in hell. Oh, wait, you do. File your appeal. Well, if you got to appeal, why don't you just sue? Yeah, yeah, we're getting to uh, the heart of the matter. So here's the thing with state court. The state court judge, in my opinion, from following the signatures of the people who signed to start or who signed to further the illegal action, the judge has a conflict of interest and should be recused. The judge has a conflict of interest and should be recused because the state is the one that's really doing the foreclosure, hiding behind these other sub corporations that they license and pay to beat you down. Okay, so the state is really the one that's doing the foreclosure, and they are already in control of your property deed. And your deed there's no law that says your deed must be registered in their office. So the fact that they registered your deed in their office, if there's no law that says you have to register your deed in the office, and the state law says in property transfer, the state law says that in order for that property transfer to be complete, the deed is supposed to be delivered to the homeowner, but that's not what they do. They do what they call their constructive delivery, and they register the deed in their office. And that registration of the deed in their office is what allows them to place the first illegal lien on the property. And most people don't even know what the first illegal lien was that's placed on their property. The first illegal lien. Hola, Claudia, ¿cómo está? The first illegal lien that was placed on their property was the mortgage lien. And I mentioned in my video a few times why that mortgage lien was illegal. And I'll mention it again because it only takes me a second. It was illegal. Okay, think about this. If there were several people who owned property, in order for anybody to sign that lien, all of the owners would have to be present, right? Yep. So the fact that the alleged lender accepted your signature on the mortgage lien proves that you owned it already. I smell stink. And that's usually what I throw on the table when I have haters trying to get in my face about that. So they done real estate deed fraud to get control of your deed. The state is actually the one is the real corporation foreclosing on your property. They already have your deed. They just need to get your ass off their property. I'm sorry, when you think about it. They took your deed and they registered it and they made a copy. And it's illegal to make a copy of a security and then use that security to trick you into thinking that you have control of your property. And then once that deed was registered, that allowed illegal mortgage lien to be placed on the property because the property was paid for with your signature on that promissory note. They processed it through the Federal Reserve and was granted electronic credits. So I know some people that's kind of way over their head, but that's pretty much it. Like I said, keeping it simple. They would not have accepted your signature on the lien if you didn't own the property. I'm also going to answer questions about deploying the package. So if you guys have any questions about deploying that my new 42 USC 1983 civil rights lawsuit package, now would be a good time to ask me those questions, and I'll just field them so everybody can see them. That would probably save me some time, a lot of time in typing the same thing for the same question. So if you guys think of questions about the 42 USC 1983 package, you can ask me where we're going along, and we'll stop and answer them. I'm also going to review the strategies folks are using to stop the eviction process. And what you need to do if you're in the 7-day window. The 7-day window countdown for the eviction. So let's just get rolling here. I had someone contact me today or yesterday about stopping a commercial foreclosure against commercial business. And well, yeah, we're looking into that. I think that's going to be a pretty good deal. We're going to cover first the questions that came in this week about the instructional, about the how to use the 42 USC 1983 Civil Rights Package. And most of the questions, well, all of the questions that came in were already answered in the training videos. The people just didn't take the time to watch the training videos. And I get kind of grumpy when people contact me and they haven't watched the videos because they want me to hurry up and and tell them what they need to know. And if you don't watch the videos and you don't learn to learn the concept and what we're doing, then it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you because when they call you or when they talk to you on the phone, they will be able to tell, or on the video, they will be able to tell that you have no idea what the hell you're talking about. And if you don't, then they're just going to leave you sit there and do what they do and just throw stuff out as soon as they get a chance. So it's very important to watch the instructional videos. And the way I see it is like this: my time is actually more valuable to me than your time is. Okay, so now you see where I'm going with that. People call me and want me to tell them stuff to save them time. Well, you're costing me time when I can be helping somebody else get enrolled in the program. This is a paralegal school, okay? There's no place for anybody to get their hand held around here. So I don't hold your hand. It's a paralegal school, and you guys have to figure some things out. One lady asked me how she can contact me on Facebook. Well, just use my name. What's your name? I told her, you're killing me over here. Go figure it out. And I'm thinking, oh man, that coaching relationship is going to be a little rough because some people expect way more than you get here from me. My job is to provide the tools that you need and the coaching to stay in court. So there you go with that. The rest of the stuff along the way, you're going to have to figure it out. Yes, Claudia, Submani Har, dígame. Tell me what's on your mind. I know that you're inquisitive, and I think you're going to be a badass at doing this. So, what's on your mind? You have a question that you'd like to share? I think maybe I can come up with the answer. If not, we'll get it. We'll figure out a way to get it. James, we're going to talk about what we're talking about here. So, well, you can get on our program or you can have your own program. It's up to you. but I'm in charge of the program over here. So we're going to talk about these things. So Claudia, let me know what's on your mind. And I'm sure that it's going to be something everybody else would like to hear too. So one of the questions that came up, well, this actually has come up several times. People will call me and they'll start asking me the questions that's covered in the instructional videos. Like one of the questions they were asking me was, okay, so somebody was freaking out because they opened the package and they could not find um, the lawsuit, that the counterclaim that she needed to file in state court. She could not find it, so she was freaking out and called. Well, no, you're supposed to change. If you watch the instructional video, I'm pretty sure I said in there, you're supposed to change the heading, the court heading on the top, and you add the state court and then the state, the judge, you add, yeah. So, and then they got a little grumpy when and what they said to me was they kind of, I've been watching videos all night or something. And I was like, okay, no, you're not watching. You're watching the training videos. The 337 videos are training videos. The instructional videos are only found in the instructional video playlist. Now, you can go to my channel and you can search for the instructional video playlist, and you can pull that playlist up and open it up, and then you will match the names of the titles of the videos with whatever it is that you're working with. That's how that works. The other videos are training videos. They're not in the instructional video. I open up the package. I show you the documents, the front page of them at least. And I talk about the things that you need to know, what the clerk's going to say, all of that stuff. So if you don't know that stuff, when the clerk starts shooting off their mouth, you're not going to know what to say. And you're going to be like this. Yeah, that deer in the headlights look. And when they see that because of fear. And if you let them smell your fear, you may well go throw your own shit in the yard. I'm just, okay. Stuff. You may well go throw your own stuff in the yard, because that's they're going to use that against you and make sure that you don't get in control of anything. So you need to make sure you're watching the instructional videos for the lawsuit packages. My videos on my YouTube channel are divided into different groups, playlists. There's a playlist for the instructional videos. There's a playlist for controlling the judge in court. There's a playlist for controlling the attorney. And there's a playlist for all kind of stuff. And that's how you separate the videos in there. Stinger, can you move to So Stinger, you're referring to the removal of the state court case over to federal court. So that's what I'm thinking that you're referring to. And I'm trying to think how to best answer your question, because there's actually two answers to it. Number one, you can challenge jurisdiction at any time, up to 15 years. And that challenge of jurisdiction is really the heart of what we do here, because the court doesn't have an injured party. They don't have a complaint, or they don't have a contract. They don't have a counter the money trail. They don't have anything that they need to have for the court to have jurisdiction. And that's why we add the judge to the action, because the judge does not have jurisdiction to move forward or even be signed his name on it. Okay, so with that said, can you So what we do is we jam up the players. We jam them up. It's kind of like if you're going to fight a big guy, someone bigger than you, and that's you want to take out one of those knees, make it a little bit easier for yourself. So what we do is we add the judge and the state and the attorney to their own lawsuit as a counterclaim. We take my 42 USC 1980 civil rights lawsuit package, and we change the court heading on the top. We add the judge and the state and the attorney as plaintiffs, and then you change it down here and turn it into a counterclaim. So now you have your 42 USC 1983 civil rights or whatever as a counterclaim that you just filed in their foreclosure case. And that way you don't have to pay. Now, that works great if you're not. I see your letter there, Claudia. I'll get to you in a minute. So that works great if you have time. If you have time to do all that stuff. If you're in the eviction protocol or the 7 or 10 day, whatever, and you don't have time to do all of that, then what we do is file that action in the state court against the eviction court process. And then we already should have it filed in federal court. Then you remove everything over to federal court. So Stinger is not really about the jurisdiction. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not, because state court never had jurisdiction in the first place. So, so you're not moving it. You're just moving their crap over to federal court. I don't know. I hope I made that a little bit better so you can understand it. So the answer is yes. And you do that by attacking the judge and the attorneys. And when you do that, then no other attorneys, no other judges on the state court level can hear the case because there'd be a conflict of interest. So you're using their own shit to using their own stuff to back them in a corner, and their own rules against them. Okay, cool. And when you do the removal, what I tell people, when you do the removal, you need to have file stamp copies of what you filed in state court. I'd have a file stamp copy of what you filed in federal court. Actually, I would put that one first. And you want to put these copies as exhibits to the motion to remove, or the removal. It's not really a motion because you're not asking nobody. You're not asking nobody for anything, and that's important to understand, because the clerk's going to play dumb and they're going to act like they don't know what the hell is going on. And so the whole gist of moving this, so according to their rules, you only have a certain window of time, blah 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 blah. But y'all know I don't follow that shit. So the whole gist of this is, when you attack the judge and the state court, then you need to be in a different court. So so federal court is screwed. They have a hard, they don't want to have this stink in their court. But if you do it right, they have to. And when you add the state court judge and all the players who signed, then that pretty much is like taking the motor off their boat. We had people call and tell me that the judge, Donna, she said the judge would not rule in their favor because he was a party to the action. And the judge was a party to the action because the judge didn't have jurisdiction and was up in there helping the attorneys. And I know y'all know the judge is helping them, huh? So I'm thinking, Claudia, your question is like a little long. We might have to. So are you asking me a question, are you asking me a question, Claudia? Because what I teach you here, none of this has anything to do with what we're doing. So whoever is the one that's coming, whoever signed to come after you is who we use. So I don't know. That's how I do it. Whoever signed to come after you is who, because that's who you're going to put on your lawsuit. Whoever signed. You don't want to go into court and be suing someone because the attorney said that they're the ones suing. That's what people have been doing all along, going into court and assuming that it's the lender, and the lender hasn't signed anything, or there's no contract that says that, yeah. So, oh, Claudia, I have mercy with you. You're fine. Just your question's a little bit long there, and I don't understand it. I want to keep this a little shorter to what. And remember, all of those things that you're talking about there is not stuff we use. Not in my non-conventional program. In the conventional program, then maybe you could use all that stuff, but we don't use all that stuff. Our goal is to shut the door on the arguing. So, because the way their system is structured, when the arguing is over, their buddy judge gets to help them. Okay, great, Stinger. Now I made a live stream 5 weeks ago, and the thumbnail says instructions all the way across it. Um, that video, it's a video now showing in the live stream playlist. That video, and I think the last 2 or 3 videos that I made that were addressing the eviction process outline the steps. I tell people not to get themselves caught up in, some people are not going to watch it because it says eviction. Well, what it is how to control the court process. That's what you're learning. How to control the court process. That's what you're learning. And it could be used with any court process. I have eviction on there because we're trying to get this eviction thing under control better. I haven't had a whole lot of experience at the end of the thing on the eviction process because the few people that were invested in my program were getting things worked out, but we've got more people now because we're advertising on Google AdWords and doing some other things. So now we're having an opportunity to use the real-time feedback to address this eviction problem, the eviction situation. And it's sad, but what we're finding is that we're having to file the lawsuit in both places to stop the eviction process. Now, we're going to make a few changes to that. I think it's going to be valuable for us to add the auction corporation to your lawsuit, because in a sense they're the ones about to give your shit away. So and the reason that we want to be doing this is because we need to turn the heat up on this eviction situation and get control of it so that the process will work for everybody, not just the people that talk shit. And so that it works for the nice people too. Okay, they're yelling at me over there. So, but you gotta know what I mean. We need to get it figured out so it's consistent, and we're consistently punching their ass in the face with the documents, with the documents. So those videos will help you guys figure out the strategies, the steps that we need to have. I was talking to a lady one day, and she said, "Oh, why is the Foreign Agent Act registration in there?" And act, well, we don't use that stuff. I told her, "You're watching an old video." So then she came back and she said, "Well, that video is not old. It was 2 months ago." It's old. It's viejo. It's very old. So I still have the Facebook group open that I get information from the people, and a lot of people in that group are paralegals, and so I still get real time feedback on what we need to do to stop this, how they're responding to our stuff, which tells us what we need to do, what we need to change or add to get this eviction situation under control. So if I so if I'm working with you personally on a game plan, and most of the time you would be in the eviction protocol for me to be doing that, or you would be my sister. But if I'm working with you personally on the game plan and have it all outlined what you need to be doing, okay, you need to be doing that. And when you get that done, then you can check in, because in most cases, there's another group of things that you need to do. But a lot of people, when you get in the 10-day window, they need to breathe in the paper bag and get the electric thing clear. You know. So I'm trying not to overwhelm you with all of this stuff. And anyway, some people I can just say a little more, some people a little bit less. But as a coach, I have to figure out how this works so that you're getting as much done as you can without burning the wheels off of your car. So without burning your motor and running it without oil. Okay, I think you guys understand what I'm saying. So. No, Stinger, we don't respond. We don't respond. No offense, but we don't respond or answer to their stuff. If you're in the eviction process, then you want to file your counterclaim in their face and stop all of that, and then get your lawsuit, which is the counterclaim, change the words again, filed in state court against the eviction court parties, and then eventually get your lawsuit filed in federal court, and then move all of this stuff over there. Because when you file your 42 USC, it's no longer about whether or not you made payments or missed a payment, or if they have a title, or none of that. None of that shit is no longer about any of that. Now you're addressing their legal court process that is the cause of the problem that you're having. So you never want to go into court and talk about what they want to talk about. Okay, that never works well for anybody. I'm just saying. I've been there a whole bunch of that. That never works well for anybody when you go into court and talk. You want to trump their ass with something more and make them, yeah. So what we do is go in, file a counterclaim right away to stop that, add the parties to it, and then file a counterclaim. I've had a couple of people that actually, Kimberly, she actually did the same thing that my sister did, and just moved their case over into federal court. She paid the money and just moved their state foreclosure over to federal court. Yeah, they were screwed. They were toast. So that counterclaim is powerful, and it allows you people who are broke. Okay, let me change that. I'm going to change it. It allows us people who are broke to get your damn licks in. Okay, you can get your licks in and get it shut down to buy yourself some time. Now, James was talking about, well, I don't know what he's talking about, but when you file a claim against the judge and the state court and the state and all that, it's not as easy for them just to mow you down. And one of the other things that we do too now that we're starting to do is get your documents placed on the public record. They stamp them for like $10 or something. So they're placed on the public record before you actually file them in your case. And that puts you in a different standing or something, and it's supposed to be considered to be in comments. But the best thing is it's on the public record already, so it's a lot harder for them to manipulate it or change it or whatever. So now, one of the things that's causing problems is some people think that they need to fill out the affidavit state citizenship document. Okay, I'm telling you, you need to do this, this, and this, and they're over there doing that. And I'm like this. So are you doing that? Well, how's you know? Oh, so are you coaching yourself, or am I still coaching you? I mean, if I'm fired, I need to know so I can go sit my ass down. I ain't never been. Well, maybe once or twice got fired because I wouldn't hold people's hand. So I'm not a hand holder, and I don't do drama. So, but if I didn't tell you to prepare that and file it, then you shouldn't. And I had a person that's doing that yesterday, and so I'm like, look, that's not going to help you right now. The affidavit state citizenship document I added to the package to help you help stop the police from harassing you later. I had a lady that was being harassed by the police, so we came up with this. She filled out the passport, the post office passport, and mailed it in, and she reclaimed her state citizenship. They sent her a card showing that she was so now the police cannot harass you unless you injure somebody or damage their property. So that's the beauty of that. They put yourself on the other side over here where we're supposed to be of their crap. And so unless you hurt someone, damage their property, they're supposed to give you back your shit and tell you to have a nice day. And so that's usually, and I have that card, and that's what they've done to me the last one time. I don't get pulled over very often anymore. I think they're recognizing me. I don't know. But here's the thing. If you use up your time doing a bunch of shit that I didn't tell you to do, you're going to kick yourself in the butt. And this person was hurrying, trying to, it turned out she barely got to federal court to get her lawsuit filed, barely got there in time. Now, I point out to her, had she filled out this other document, she would have been 20 or 30 or maybe more minutes later, and she wouldn't have got her document filed. This is a person that's in the 10-day protocol to be kicked out of the house. The sheriff's already came and put the stuff on the door. So the next time the sheriff comes, it's not going to be pretty. So you only have a certain number of days to get this stuff done. Then you got to pray and hope that they don't throw it in the basket and just leave it sit on the counter. So you don't have time to do all this extra stuff that you think that you should be getting done. If the coach is working with you on a game plan and you're in the eviction protocol, you need to do what the coach is saying you need to do. And when you get that done, you need to get back with the coach. And the reason is, once you get the lawsuit filed and the parties served, well, once you get the lawsuit filed, then we're going to remove everything from the state court over to federal court. But until she gets that stinking lawsuit filed in federal court, there's nothing to move it to. All you got state court, where they all are getting each other back. You know how that goes. Now, we had one person that's scheduled to be evicted, and that's actually, there's two people, but one of this person is the one I'm talking about now. And one of the things that she did wrong when she did her counterclaim is, well, first off, she didn't get it filed in federal court like she should have. But the second thing, the main thing that she did wrong is she did not add the state to her counterclaim. She did not add the state to the counterclaim, and she didn't add them because she didn't understand why they should be added. Yeah, that was really hard for me because it's like, okay, if I'm the coach and I'm helping you, you should be doing this shit and not worrying about the why. Because if you understood everything that I know, you wouldn't need my help and you'd be in a different situation. So I'm just saying, if you have questions about what I'm telling you to do, you need to do it and then hit me up or figure it out. Now, I may tell you to go and do your own research, because I don't have time to answer your questions about the stuff that I have in my package that people are using to punch these people in the face with. You have to take the time to do your own research. So that's how that goes with the questions. If you have questions about the lawsuit packages, I'll try to answer them. But I don't have. Okay, why should I add these people? Well, I don't have time for that. Add their asses and get your stuff. You don't have time for it either. So add them and get your stuff on there, and you can figure this stuff out later if you trust me and you trust the process. So. Yeah, Donna says it works beautifully at tying them up in the court, and yeah, they're not used to having their butts slapped around like that, so they don't know what to do if you're in court with them and you're not trying to get before the judge. Okay, they don't know what to do. What the hell do they do? If you're not trying to get before the judge, it jacks them up. They don't know what the hell to do. And we ain't trying to get before the judge because we done sued him. Okay. I wonder what other judge wants to jump up here and get in this pile of poop. I was not going to say anything bad. I don't know if you guys have figured it out or not, but I pretty much love my job. So if you're in the strategy for the 10-day or the 7-day in Georgia countdown, the process for that is continually changing. So, if I tell you to go watch a video, or if I tell you some weird shit, just go and do it. God, I'm telling you, I have no interest in your property. Okay, my interest is getting the feedback and letting people see that my stuff's punching these people in the face. My cheap stuff is punching these people in the face. Oh yeah, I'm sure they do, Stinger. So what they really want you to do is not file it in federal court. Because here's the thing, man. All the state court people are all together, so it's a conflict of interest for anybody on the state court level to be involved in your stuff, especially if you jam up the judge. So if you haven't jammed up the judge yet, you should maybe. Yeah, they want you to drop that. I'm sure they do, but that's not how it works. Tell them you'll drop it. If I were you, I'd tell them that I would be glad to dismiss this action against them and not bring any further action for this problem as soon as they remove your deed from their office and deliver it to you as mandated by the state law, and remove any from the database too. So yeah, they want you to drop your counterclaim. We need to get down to the court and get that done. Maybe I'll let you use my new delivery vehicle here to deliver. If you get one of my packages, I'll maybe let you use this new delivery vehicle. So one of the changes that we're going to be making, and I have it on a sticky note. If I got it on a sticky note, it's badass. We need to be suing the auction company. We need to be suing the auction company. Nice. Sound like you're doing a pretty good job on this thing up in here, Stinger. That's nice to see. Now, just think about it. When you add the auction company to your lawsuit that's going to sell your house in non-judicial foreclosure, I bet that would add a little more pressure to their asses. So one of the things I want to share with you guys, I had a guy call in, and this guy told me he's real good with doing stuff. So he ran a check on the trust that they were saying was suing him for the foreclosure. And the trust was created a month before the foreclosure was filed. So, yeah, so it's a fake trust. And it's funny, in my sister's foreclosure, we threw that in there, that the trust was created a few months before the foreclosure was filed. So why wasn't the trust created 17 years ago when my sister bought the house? So that's they the trust with. So my sister's like, well, how do we know that? Well, it's up to them to prove that it ain't. Not up to me to prove nothing. All I have to do is have it make sense. And if it makes sense, then it's up to them. So we stuck. Oh, they did not want to talk about that. I want you guys to remember, if I structure a personalized game plan for you, if you're in the eviction protocol, don't mess it up doing stuff in the instructional videos. Okay, the stuff in the instructional videos are old, and especially with the eviction process, we're learning new stuff with the eviction process. I mean, you can use the stuff in instructional videos you want to, but then you'll be coaching yourself, and I'm gonna have to step aside so I'm not next to you to get that blood splashed on me. Okay, to get that bodily fluid splash. Okay, sorry. You know what I'm saying? Because the train wreck's about to happen. So if you don't, okay. Oh, they're telling me to move on. I need to move on. So if you receive a personalized game plan, pay less attention to the instructional videos. Okay, you need to follow what's in the game plan because it contains the new stuff. Stopping the eviction process is something that's a work in progress for us. And so we're receiving new updated feedback from how they're responding to our stuff, that's allowing us to change the game plan or whatever. And so that's what we're in the process of doing. Now, I was contacted by a business owner who is facing illegal foreclosure, and he's not behind on his payments. Now, he was a few days late getting it paid, but he's not behind. He's not in default, but they're coming after him anyway. And so he was asking him if we could use a package to stop a commercial foreclosure. And I'm like, yeah, I don't see why we cannot. I bought a commercial property before, and the process is no different. And I bought a couple of houses. The process is no different. So we're and I'm going to be working closely with these guys to make sure if there's anything that I don't see or didn't see or need to address, that we get it done, so that we can have a package. If we need to have a package that's structured a little bit different, then we're going to get that done. So we'll have a package that people can use to stop a commercial foreclosure against their business property or whatever. And I know it's going to be a lot of people needing after what we went through for the last couple of years, having these people pretty much screw us over. So that's my opinion. Okay. So if you guys are facing this foreclosure problem or property tax, I have a new property tax package, and it's the bomb. I sold the first new updated package yesterday, so I'm excited to get the feedback from it. The new package is structured to state a claim for relief, and we added the real estate deed fraud issues in there because that is the beginning of all of the shenanigans. Shenanigans. You gotta know what I'm talking about. So that is all I have to value I'm bringing to the table tonight. Thank you guys for the value of sharing your time. I will see you in the next video.